It's like I keep sitting down and then I keep realizing that I need things. Let me just turn this down a touch. Hello, my internet people. Welcome back to another episode of I Don't Know, because I haven't thought of a name yet. My name is Jasmine. I was about to start giving you my stats. 25. 5'2" and a half. I don't know what else to say. Hi, y'all. It's driving me crazy that I think I'm looking at myself in the camera, but I don't have my glasses on, so I really can't see my face, and it secretly drives me nuts. All right. Now that we're done with that useless bit of information, I hope everybody's doing okay today. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful day. I know here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are starting spring. I live in Jersey, and it just got warm. Yes, officially got warm this yesterday. Thank God. Because I was about to jump out of my bedroom window on the second floor head first if it stayed as cold as it was. I was getting so stressed. Vitamin D is so basically my dad sent me a video or a lecture by Brother Polite. If you woke, you know who Brother Polite is. If you not, look him up. You should get to know him. He has a lot of very interesting things to say. I think that's the best way I can put it. Very... Oh, okay, great. Also, my window's open because it's hot, and I don't have an AC in my window yet, so I'm really warm right now. And I just put all this I just got my hair done, and it's mad big, and I'm hot. Anyway. Okay, today is Saturday, March 26th, 2021. Let's do emotional check-in, mental check-in for this week. I think this week I was PMSing this week or something. I started taking birth control last week, I think. So I'm all over the place emotionally. All right, now that we're done with my life story. Okay, I wrote down some talking points for today because this past week on the internet, it got a little crazy. I can't think of everything that's been going on. I don't really go on it as I said in the last video podcast situation. I'm off of Instagram because I need a mental break from it. It's too much. It literally gives me anxiety. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it gives me anxiety. So I'm not really on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I haven't been on Reddit, which I love Reddit, and I haven't been on. But I love YouTube, and I live on YouTube, like I've said before. So, the YouTube streets were ablaze with the Derek Jackson tea. If you are somebody, I don't even know who you need to be to know who Derek Jackson is. Okay, that was creepy. It sounded like someone was tapping. I don't even know who you need to be to know who Derek Jackson is. But basically, okay, I love ABBA and Preach. I've been watching ABBA and Preach for a couple years now. And I really like their vibe. And they always bring up Derek Jackson because he be out here simping and blah, 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 blah. Basically, he's always pandering. His main shtick is to pander to black women about how black men are falling short as far as treating them in relationships, blah 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 blah. There's even this meme going around. That says, it's a picture of Derek Jackson, and it says, if your relationship has suffered due to this man, you may be entitled to compensation. Because this motherfucker always in his car going in talking about basically how men ain't shit, all men do are cheat. You need you a real man. You need you a man that's like this. You need you a man that's like that. A lot of people compare him to Steve Harvey, which is true. They're kind of in that same lane where they pander to black women or women in general, and yet they don't practice. Is that a horn? I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. But Jersey drivers are so annoying. Anyway, Off topic. I think somebody's mowing their lawn or some shit. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm all over the place today. But back to Derek Jackson. So he gets compared to Steve Harvey. You know, Steve Harvey's always giving relationship advice, yet he's been divorced twice, or 2 or 3 times. It's just like, why? Anyway. So Derek Jackson is a guy who's always giving relationship advice to women, telling them who they should and shouldn't be dating, telling them who's good and who's not good for them, who's treating them well, who's not treating them well. I would always see his videos on the Shade Room and like places like that all the time. And this motherfucker this week or last week, this asshole got caught cheating on his wife. First of all, ain't none of us knew that he had a wife. Nobody knew. Who knew? Nobody knew that motherfucker was married. Like, first of all your motherfucking shirtless pics on Instagram and not one picture of your wife on Instagram. Oh my god, like the YouTube streets have been ablaze the past 2 weeks. I saw this past week, whatever the fuck this, I have no idea. But it's funny, it's all fun and games, you know, whatever the memes, that the jokes and the parodies of Derek Jackson and his wife. It's all fun and games, but some of the YouTubers that I follow did go into, kind of dug deep into the Instagram page of the wife. Her name is Danae, and it was looking a bit rough in there. It was looking a bit rough, and as rough as in, there are a lot of questionable things that she was saying, basically saying, like, one thing that stuck out was that she, at some point in the recent past, or in the past few years, she had some type of animosity toward her daughters. I'm not sure if it's one or two, but she had some type of animosity because they were dark skinned and her husband was cheating on her with people who were dark skinned. But it's weird because he was also cheating with everyone. These women came forward. If you want this scoop on the tea, or you want to hear these women speak, you can go to Tasha K's channel on YouTube. Oh my god, I apologize so deeply if you can hear the horns. I don't even want to. New Jersey drivers, I'm sorry if you're from Jersey and you grew up here and you're a driver, I'm sorry. Some of y'all motherfuckers are assholes. That guy just laid on his horn for like 5 seconds, bro. Chill out. And then on top of that, y'all motherfuckers don't know how to go around somebody. If someone's slowing down or stopped in front of you, just go around them. It's not that hard. Figure it out, boo-boo. Anyway, Derek Jackson, Jesus Christ. But it's not just that this man was giving relationship advice that he wasn't following. It's not just that it's not just that he was giving advice that he wasn't following. It's that he's been with this woman for, I think, 14 years, is from what I've heard from, you know, the interviews and things. He's been with this woman for 14 years and has been cheating on her consistently since then. And I just want to point out what that does to your mental health and your mental state. That woman looks disheveled. She looks like she's been through some things, and I can only imagine her self-esteem and her self-worth probably is through the floor. It's one thing to get cheated on like one time and, you know, feel a way about it and be hurt by it, and, you know, maybe your partner apologized and promised never to do it again and they never did it again, but you still have that feeling. Now imagine that feeling times like 100, because this person, basically everyone's calling him a narcissist. Now I just want to say that everybody on the internet calls just about everybody a fucking narcissist. Like, it's kind of like everybody's go-to, oh, you're a narcissist, blah blah blah. I think in this case he actually might be suffering from something, because he's looking real rough. Like, he did a video of himself. He did a reaction video to his apology video with his wife, bro, and spoke about himself in the third person. Now that gets me thinking, like, okay, something might be a little off with you, because it's not really normal to speak to yourself in the third person like that. Is really strange. And then the things she was saying on Instagram, she was literally saying that she saw videos of the women, his wife, that she'd seen videos of the women that he'd cheated on her with, and was evaluating their secretions and the way their bra size and their underwear size because she was trying to imitate them. They got a whole host of problems, bro. They need to figure that out separately. And apparently he's slightly physically abusive to some of the women that came forward to out him. He's been, physically offensive with them, or physically abusive to them, or verbally abusive to them, mentally and emotionally abusive to them. And it's just like, we can judge all we want, but like when your self-esteem is low, you put up with a lot. And that's me coming from a person who's been there, done that. My self-esteem has been low, and in return I've put up with things that I probably shouldn't have put up with. And it serves true for a lot of people. They gotta figure that out. But no, what made me want to talk about it today was I was obviously the Breakfast Club put out their little like spiel on it. I didn't even know that Charlemagne the God had Derek Jackson on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. Are you kidding me? You had this motherfucker on the Brilliant Idiots podcast? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, oh, he's just a fraud. Just a straight up fraud. And it's just a warning to those people who seem like they have it all together all the time, always. If you're someone who pretends that you have it together, or you make it out to be as if you have it together all the time, always, every day of your life, those people are no-no. Those people, they're full of shit. I feel like the best people to get advice from are the people that'll tell you, yeah, I did this, this, and this, and I fucked up. And I learned from it, and now I'm better than I was yesterday. And that's the philosophy that I choose to live by as a person. If I make a mistake, I'll be like, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, but all I can do is do better, and I will do better. And that's how you handle those types of things. You can't be trusting these people that act like they're so fucking high and mighty, and they never have any, like they're just always in fucking La La Land. Everything's perfect for them. All right. They gotta work on it. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on. Oh my God. I just wanted to vent today. So the guy I'm dating, my boyfriend, recently got a new job, and he was just telling me, how he's feeling about it and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, like, if that's something that you want a 9-to-5 job, that's something that you like 5 days a week, like, okay, cool, like, do that. That's just not something that I would ever, like, that's just not for me. And then last night I was like doing my hair, and I was on YouTube, and Choice, I love Destin Choice TV, ow, sorry, sprained my ankle yesterday. Destin Choice from Choice TV, love him, and he was talking about college and things like that. He was talking about college and how you shouldn't force your kids to go to college, and just, you can watch his video on it. I'll link it somewhere. It's his podcast. But between that and the conversation I had with my boyfriend, I'm just like, bro, 9-to-5 jobs are so soul-sucking. They are so soul-sucking. And you know what I think is fucked up? I think it's fucked up that as you're growing up, adults don't tell you how soul-sucking 9-to-5 jobs are. 9-to-5 work is. Working for an employer who you don't know, who you know is making millions off of your back. You're working 10-hour shifts, 5 days a week, and this motherfucker is probably chilling. Because they don't have, I'm assuming it's a he, but whoever is your overseer doesn't have to be there every day. They don't have to be doing the manual hard labor that you're doing. And you know what? If you're okay with that, if you're okay with just, the grind, and you just want to make your money, you just want to chill on the weekends, you just want to do this, and that, that's cool. But bro, like, it's not for me. Like, it's just not for me. It really brings me down. It really makes me depressed. Okay, so the way this is going to kind of segue into the next thing I want to talk about, but the way my personality is set up, I just don't like being in the same place every day, 4 hours a day. That's why school was so hard for me. I got good grades because, like, lucky for me, I'm an auditory learner. So if the teacher that's why I sucked at math. If it was a class like history where I just had to listen, and then the questions were on the test, the questions on the test were just something that we went over in class, I would do really well because I'm really good at listening and absorbing that way, and that's why I did well in school. But I hated it. I felt like I was slowly going crazy. I felt so trapped and so stuck, and that's exactly how having a 9 to 5 job makes me feel. Like right now, so I was a waiter last year before quarantine. I was a waiter, but I was blessed enough to have a job where I didn't have to be there all the time, and people were always wanting to work. People always want. What am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at this notebook. People always wanted to work, so I was always able to kind of give my shifts up. It was really flexible with the schedule because all the other employees there, they like working, like we made a really 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 good amount of money there, and to me the money wasn't even important. Like I didn't even give a shit. I just didn't want to be there. It's like something about, I just feel so trapped and suffocated when I'm obligated to be there at a certain time because you're telling me to be there at a certain time and do this work and do that work, yet I know that the owner is at home. Or if he's somewhere, he's working on his own schedule. He's working at his own pace. He's working where he wants. And he's not there every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, that type of work is just, it kills me. It really and truly kills me. And so I was also watching another Choice video. It was kind of a short little podcast that he was talking about. He's mentioned his social anxiety in the past. But in this video, he went in depth about how he's now taking Adderall for his ADHD, how his social anxiety is in a way crippling him. And he went into a lot of facts and details about social anxiety. And I was resonating a lot with some of this information. I need to make a separate video where I've done research and I can really like lay everything out. But I resonated deeply with a lot of the things that he said, and I never really noticed because I kind of just ignore it and I kind of push through it. Okay, like, don't judge me. I want to be weird as hell and just be like, the Leo side of me carries my fucking social anxiety. The Leo side of me carries, like, all that. Because, like, at the end of the day, I low-key need attention. Like, I live off attention because I'm a fucking Leo and I like attention. But I also don't like attention. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I like to conversate and it's weird. I'd rather not be seen. Like, I'd rather be, like, the one that's not too flashy, that's not too in your face, that's not too blah, blah. I'm still gonna look good. If you look over, it's gonna be like, God damn. But I'm never the one that's in your face about it. I'm always, like, very, like, chill about it because I don't really want that much attention. I don't really, like, recently, I came up with a new affirmation for myself where it's just, like, I'm just telling myself that I'm a social butterfly because quarantine has exacerbated the other side of my personality, which is my introvert, like the introvert in me. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to meet anyone new. I don't want to, like, I'm good. Like, I'm over here, like, doing my breathing exercises, meditating, sitting in the park. I'm about to have my dog back. I'm about to be outside in the park just chilling. I don't need your energy. And I don't need your weird ass energy getting on my nerves. I don't need and that's how I get. Like, I get really like, I can't do social situations. Like, I can only really be in a, like, when I'm out and I'm drinking, it's a different vibe because when I'm, got a few drinks in me, I'm a lot more loose. But if it's a situation where I'm at home and, like, I live with my aunt and she brings people over, I'm just like, I feel like a hermit. I'm just and I come in my room and I close the door. I get my food, close the door. Like, don't bother me. Like, don't talk to me. That's how I am. Like, I don't have the most like, it's also because of COVID, because of quarantine, and everybody moved kind of away that I cared about, and I don't work at the same place. It's about to reopen, but a lot of people, like I've mentioned before, a lot of people I hang out with were at work. So that has affected my social life, but also I don't feel like making time for anyone else right now. Like, I'm just doing me, and I don't know if that's introverted thing, or if that's just a stage in my life where I'm just at this point where I've partied and I've had fun and I've had friends, and it hasn't really garnered me any it hasn't garnered me anything, any type of, like, plaques to be to or why can't I ever think of, you guys, side note, because a slight ADHD and shit, but I need to expand my vocabulary. Like, I really want to start doing like something to expand my vocabulary. But anyway, back to the main topic at hand. Basically, he was outlining his social anxiety, which I think I have a touch of. I do get very kind of weird in social situations. I have to remember to breathe. It's weird because it's like I have these issues, but I've found ways to work around them by, like, reading The Power of Now, which I recommended, reading What to Say When You Speak to Yourself, which is another book, and just doing work on what my mind says when it's on autopilot. The things that my mind plays on repeat on autopilot in my head, I've been rewriting that for the past few months. So it's been helping me a lot, so I'm not as anxious. But man, like, I don't mind talking to people, but I don't like bullshit superficial conversations. Don't come to me talking about, oh, the weather's so nice today. Oh yeah. Like, we can chit chat about that for a little bit, but there are some people who literally all they have to talk about is just generic ass shit. You don't have something interesting to talk about. You're not taking jujitsu classes. You taking dance classes. You auditioning for something. You writing a book. You going on a 100-mile bike ride. You going on a hike later. You got a new dog. Like, is there anything interesting going on with your life other than just the basic generic baseline bullshit that I don't want to talk to you about? If you ain't got nothing interesting to talk to me about, don't even talk to me. Period. Like, if you're not interesting, don't talk to me. I'm sorry. I'm such an asshole. But I'm going to do a separate video, I think, on social anxiety and ADHD, because I also think I have a touch of ADHD. I think doctors try to diagnose it a lot. I don't know if it's just common or if it's just something that they like to diagnose in people, but it's something that I definitely think I struggle with a little bit. And so what was it? It was ADHD, social anxiety, and empathy. So he was also saying that he's an empath, and he really feels people's energies. And I've always stayed away from using the term empath. I always thought it was a little woo-woo, and it's stupid because I'm woo-woo as fuck, but like I try to be woo-woo within reason. But basically he's talking about he's an empath, and I've been told that I'm an empath, but I don't like to give myself that label necessarily. But I do pick up on people's energies a lot. And this is one of the things I've noticed is the people that I associate with are very calm tempered people. People who, when something happens, they handle it very calmly. When something goes wrong, it's like a very calm reaction. It's very chill. And the guy that I'm dating right now, he's a calm person. Like, he's not easily disturbed by things, but in the moment when he feels it, he lets it show. And that, the other day, I had eaten a bunch of edibles, and we were hanging out, and it's like I can feel every single bit of that. And it's especially when I'm like really high, I can feel every bit of it. And it just got me thinking, maybe that's something else that I'm dealing with. And because I really sense people's energies. If your energy is bad, like I can't. And that also kind of feeds into the social anxiety, where it's like I'm very sensitive to people's energies. And it's also why I like to gravitate toward people, and I only like to associate with people who are actively working to be better, because those people have an awareness of the emotions that they give off and the emotions that they're having, and it's not just negativity. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. But 9-to-5 jobs are soul-sucking. My job, I'm a waiter again, which literally is just at odds with two of those three things I just talked about. My social anxiety, have to go I don't mind talking to people, but being a waiter, it's just like, it pushes me out of my comfort zone. And I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing, because everybody needs to be pushed out of their comfort zone sometimes. It's important to be pushed out of your comfort zone. So, yeah, it is what it is. Moving on. I'm not really sure, like, I guess before I move on, I just want to give a word of advice for anyone who might be dealing with social anxiety or ADHD. Well, I don't know what to tell you about ADHD. You have to get diagnosed for something like that. He said that he's taking Adderall, and that's helping him a bit. But I'm not in the position to give anybody advice on that. But as far as social anxiety goes, really start evaluating your mental state. Get into a place where you're meditating, where you're really paying attention to the thoughts you're having, and anytime the thoughts that you're having are giving off a negative vibration or giving off a vibration that's making you feel down, you need to replace those with positive thoughts. Don't condemn yourself for having negative thoughts, because that's just going to make it worse. That's just dealing with that's just fighting negativity with negativity. Don't condemn yourself for having negative thoughts. It happens. It's okay. We have these, we are not our emotions. We have emotions, but we're not our emotions, and that's what you have to remember. Just remember that it's all in your head, and all of this shit is just a big fucking game. All of this is a big game, if you really want to think about it. Okay, next. Yeah, I was feeling super, drained this past week. Very, lost, drained, confused. My job feels like it's sucking my soul out of me. I was about to get real gross there. I'm not even gonna go there. Shit feels like it's sucking my soul out of my anus or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just trying to work really hard to find ways to change that. I'm not a 9-to-5 person. I have to find a way around it. I just have to. And if you're that type of person, do not try to fit your square peg in a round hole, okay? If it's not for you, if you're young and it's not for you, even if you're older, if it's not for you, find something that feeds your soul, because we only have a fixed amount of years on this earth. If I died tomorrow because I tripped over a pebble and fell on my fucking head or some shit, if I died tomorrow, how would I have felt if I spent all my time working for someone else, people who don't give a shit about my happiness? I just want to die happy. And I just feel like everyone should feel that way. Everybody should feel like they want to die happy. And I just think that's important. So a little bit of food for thought there. What else did I write down? Right, this also kind of goes with the job thing. I was listening to a brother, like I said, my dad sent me a video, Brother Polite, and he was actually making a really good point about how this thing is slowly falling down because this mic is heavy as shit. Okay. He was basically saying that oxytocin is something that's created when you work and when you're rewarded for your work. So when you go to work and you feel like, so you go to work, you work really hard, you work long hours, and you're super excited to get your check. And you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get my check. And then you see your check is so fucking small that literally, you're not getting the oxytocin from the work that you're doing as you should. Versus, say you were a farmer and you're farming and you're seeing your little green buds come out of the ground and you're seeing your plants grow and you're seeing, things happening. That's giving you oxytocin. It's literally giving you a high on life. It's literally a natural high. And it's like, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm going to keep working. It motivates you to keep working. So when you go to work and you feel like you're not even getting what you're worth, it drops your oxytocin. And so you try to search for outside sources of it, such as drinking, drugs, weed, sex maybe. You're basically trying to find it in external sources, but the more that you use artificial means to get your oxytocin, the less sensitive you are to the natural form of it. And I think that's a big thing. Also, he said that the sun is actually black, that it is not yellow. And I thought that was very interesting. And I got to do some research on that. I have not done that, but I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna, 1 second, my camera stopped recording. Okay. Um yeah, I was also gonna when I was talking. See, I jotted down a bunch of notes, but they're kind of out of order. But from when I was talking about the Derek Jackson thing, basically, I was gonna do a little story time. Basically, one of my exes from high school, who was actually a really good friend of mine. Well, I thought was a good friend of mine. Um, his girlfriend, I don't know what they are. They have a kid together now. His current girlfriend texted me the other day from his number, and she was just like, stop texting him. And I'm just like, and at first I was gonna react like really negatively and really like angrily with an attitude, and I kind of did at first. I was like, first of all, you need to check your man. You don't need to check me because I'm not the one who's been messaging him. But that's beside the point. Basically, he's a family friend. He still hangs out with my brother. Me and my brother aren't really speaking, so sometimes I'll call him to check in and see what's going on with my family down back where I live in Georgia. um which is whatever. um but anyway, I like, no funny business between me and him has happened on my end, because I'm dating somebody now. Not to mention, I'm not interested in in that person like that at all whatsoever, not even a little bit. And I haven't been for fucking years, because we dated 8 years ago when I was when I graduated high school. Jesus Christ, like, it's been so long, and I'm not absolutely have no interest in this person. And we've had, in the past few months, we just had like small conversation. He let me know that he's having a baby. He sent me pictures. I was like, congratulations, I'm dating someone new. And I would tell him about who I'm dating and blah 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 blah. And I was gonna maybe come down around his birthday, because I had to go to Georgia for a bit. And I told him that, and that was kind of like the gist of our conversation, like nothing crazy. Then one day out of nowhere, he's just like, oh, I've been on your Instagram and I'm trying to smash. And I'm like, bro, I'm in a relationship. I'm trying to keep it classy. Like, so no. Basically, no. And not to mention, even if I did want to, you don't even live around here. First of all, I'd have to go all the way to fucking Georgia. And anyway, I just thought the whole situation was gross, because you just had a baby with someone else. I'm dating someone. I'm dating somebody. And you have the audacity to come at me like that, like you're hot shit. And then his girl hits me up and is just like, oh, stop texting him. And I'm like, and he has told me in the past that she doesn't really trust the relationship that we have. And I'm just like, well, I mean, you should give her my number, and, I can text her and I don't mind. And apparently he never did that. So me and her had a phone call, like a 30-minute phone call, where she was basically like, yeah, he basically fabricated a bunch of lies about me. He fabricated lies to her about me to cover his own ass, because she had caught him cheating with some other bitch down there. So, and this isn't new for him. He cheated on me when I was with him with the same bitch. So it's just like, that's just kind of tied into the whole Derek Jackson topic. It's just like, I just don't understand, like, the girl that he's with didn't really even want a relationship. He kind of pushed it, because he's not comfortable being alone. And my thing is like, why are you putting that person in that position if you're not ready to commit to them? Like, you're not ready to commit to them. Why are you even trying to date them? It just doesn't even make sense. And then you're lying on me, telling her that I'm doing and saying things that's not even true, just to cover your own lying, cheating ass. And it's just like, why? First of all, we too fucking old for this shit. Like, if you gonna date somebody, just date them. And if you don't want to date them, then just don't date them. It's not that serious. And we too fucking old. Like, what's with the cheating and going behind the backs and doing all the shady shit? Like, I don't get it. I'm kind of over that shit. I'm just like, us all positivity. But basically, like, I blocked his number. I don't care that I've known you for almost 10 years. I don't care that we were really good friends and you've helped me out and you've been there for my family and your family's been there for me and my family. Like, I don't care. I'm on a positive trip right now. And I'm not dealing with I'm on a positive kick right now. And I'm not dealing with you, him, or anybody else fucking with my positivity and fucking with my good vibes, period. You can take that shit somewhere else. I'm good. So I blocked him, and that's just a lesson to, like, don't be scared to cut nobody off. I'll be quick to cut you off if you're negative. If you're negative and you're lying and you're being extra as fuck, bye. It's not even a question. I'm not even upset about it. I don't even care. Like, if that's the type of person that you are, I don't need you. Period. And kind of a bit of a segue into that, man. I kind of got a lot of shit written down here, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I wanted to get into also my horrible temperament. That's been something I'm kind of just going over what I kind of learned this week and what I've thought about this week and what's crossed my mind this week. I don't know if any of y'all can relate, but man, my temper's kind of shitty sometimes. And it's weird because my aunt who I live with, she has a really good temper. Like, she's able to, like, deal with people who are very volatile and very, like, whoop-de-whoop, you know, whatever, and she's able to, like, keep her composure and deal with certain and deal with certain situations and be okay. And I'm just not like that, and I think I want to do better, and I want to get better at that. I created a new affirmation for that. Today I will not allow anyone to disturb my peace. That's something I've been saying a lot. I didn't make that one up, but I got it from somewhere. But, like, just because that's a part of being calm and a part of, like, controlling your thoughts and being, like, mindfulness, that's a part of that, like, not allowing other people to disturb your energy. Like I said, I'm not gonna say that I'm an empath, but I definitely feel a lot. Like, I pick up on energies a lot, and if your energy's trash, like, I feel it. So when I feel like you're coming at me for something that's not warranted, I kind of flip shit. And I just feel like my temper's been worse. I don't know if it's been worse or if it's... The thing is, I've been doing so much self-work on myself that now when I'm... My base level, my equilibrium is like really calm right now. It's like, I would say if it's 1 to 10, my equilibrium has been at like 1. So when I get off of that equilibrium, when I fall back into my bad habits, I feel it more. I think that's what it is. I don't think my temper is worse than it's been before, but I think I'm feeling it more because my temperament overall has relaxed a lot. So now I'm really feeling that negative energy. And I was doing some reflection, and I just started to realize, like, I really feel like a lot of things are my fault. I feel guilty for a lot of things. Also, I have to really take into consideration that my hormones are fluctuating, and that does affect things too. But when someone's even negative around me, I somehow my brain thinks it has something to do with me and it's my fault. And then I started kind of doing some research, like, well, why do I feel so guilty all the time? Why do I feel so, like, shameful and guilty as often as I do? And then because I have been sexually abused and I have sexual trauma, and then I looked it up, and lo and behold, when you're somebody who's dealt with sexual trauma or sexual abuse, you tend to have a lot of feelings of shame and a lot of feelings of guilt. And since I feel like my situation was very tied in with my mom, and I really truly, like, when I would go to my mom for things, because she would be so stressed about her own life and she didn't necessarily know how to cope with it well, it would make me feel nervous, scared, and like I want to go into a shell. It's the same feeling, and I'm realizing that, like, the same feeling, like, oh my god, like, that's the same feeling that I had growing up as a kid. Whenever I would be trying to, like, oh, okay, so something went wrong, something happened, I made a mistake, my mom would react so volatilely that, like, when people come at me with that type of energy, it kind of just triggers something in me that makes me kind of flip. And, you know, I had to journal about it, and I really had to think about it, and I had to make up some new affirmations, you know, just basically stating, like, I'm free of shame, I'm free of guilt, I'm free of fear. Those are the ones I made up, and that's been really helping me a lot. Just repeating that to myself, just reminding myself that, like, you know, the book The 4 Agreements also says, like, don't take anything personally. No matter what no matter what you do, even if you do it to someone else, even if you do something to someone else, their reaction is their own. It has nothing to do with you. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't grasp this, because I know this logically. Logically, I know, like, look, if something happens, like, even if I did something and it fucked up your day, your reaction is still has nothing to do with me. It all has to do with you. And it's something that I have to keep reminding myself. And if you're out there and you need to hear that, hear that. No matter what you do, nothing anyone else does is your fault. It's their fault, because it's their choice to react and feel the way that they feel about it. They can choose to be upset or they can choose to be understanding. And so moving forward, I'm just trying to, like, when I feel my temper starting to flare up. Also, another thing I noticed is someone like me who I don't know, I have so many conflicting personality traits. Like, I'm patient, but then I'm not. So, like, I'm like, if you do some shit that upsets me, because I know I'm kind of quick-tempered, I'll give you a chance or two. But that's also because I'm kind of shy and I'm kind of introverted and I don't like to upset people, and then that goes hand in hand with me feeling guilty. So basically, see, I just be losing my thoughts. I was like in a really good point. Basically, like, one of my defense mechanisms, because sometimes I do feel powerless, and I really do think this is from my childhood, but sometimes when I do feel powerless and when I do feel a little weak, my temper is almost my shield. It's my defense mechanism. So I let my temper go loose because I feel like it's protecting me and my temper is stronger than me. I feel like my temper has more strength than I do sometimes. And that's something that's caused me to keep my temper. But what I'm learning and understanding more and more every day is that strength is in control. Strength is not in letting your temper go free. Strength is being able to control that energy, not let it run rampant and do what it will. So yeah, I don't know who needed to hear that, but I needed to hear that this week for sure. Yeah, one other thing I did want to talk about is, like, so recently, I did my hair last night and I got my nails done. I haven't had my nails done since, like, last summer, and before that, after quarantine started, I really just didn't get my nails done because I'm like, the shops were all closed anyway. And then I was just like, I'm just not gonna get my nails done and whatever, which is something I actually really enjoy. And then I started to realize, like, there was a period at the end of last year and this year where I kind of just, I don't know if it was because I was depressed, so I didn't really, I mean, I did look all right on some days, but I was trying out new hairstyles and shit like that, so I didn't look my best. But then, like, I moved to Jersey and I'm going out less, so I'm like, I'm not doing my makeup really, I'm not really doing my hair, my nails aren't done, and I was just feeling like I was just, like, bumming it. And I don't even want to call it bumming because bum has a negative connotation to it. I was just being my natty self, you know what I mean? And it just kind of reminded me of a time, like, me getting my nails done yesterday reminded me of a time and place when I couldn't go any days without having my nails done. Like, I would have to have my nails done, I would have to have my makeup fully done, I would have to have my hair looking right all the time, my clothes would always have to look good. This is me living in New York City. So after I moved from Georgia and I moved up to New York City in 2016, from 2016 to for that entire, basically until I moved here, not until I moved here, maybe because toward the end of 2019 I started, like, trying to be more natural, but let's say from 2016 to, like, mid 2018, I cared so much about what I looked like that my self-worth was so tied to having my nails done, having my hair done, having my makeup done, having my clothes looking right, that when I didn't have those things, I felt like gross and I felt unattractive. And it's just so stupid. It's just dumb. And then the less and less I wore makeup, the more and more used I got to seeing myself natural, the more I started to just love how I look without it and appreciating just what I was born with. And I say all that to say, I think it's important that if you're someone who's really, like, adamant about doing your grooming techniques, once or twice out of the year, go a month without any of your grooming and just be natural and don't do your best to not be uncomfortable about it. Like, really enjoy it. Because now when I get these things done, I don't feel that same dependency. And I feel like it kind of is a type of shackles in a way. It's a type of bondage in a way. Yeah. Just thought I'd share that. Okay, what else? Oh. Oh, sorry, that was loud. I wanted to talk about like AI and robots and stuff. I don't really have much to say. Lovely T, a YouTuber that I watch, she basically just got in, like, just went down her like little rabbit hole that she goes down sometimes, talking about like FN Mecca. He's on TikTok, and she's basically talking about how like AI influencers were gonna be a new wave, just like holographic concerts are becoming a wave. Like hologram concerts are becoming a wave, that like artificial influencers are gonna start becoming a wave, because they're easy to control. You can control their entire image and everything like that. I just thought that was an interesting topic, and honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Like, if that's something that's gonna replace a bunch of influencers, I'm sorry, because that shit's kind of dope. Like, I'm with it. Like, I'm with it. I'm buying the products. I'm here for it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to talk about. I'm just glad I got this done today. I'm really going to be doing my best to be consistent with this. I'll be putting something up next week as well, but I'm going out of town on Sunday. Also, I got a little plant, and I don't know why, but that little plant gives me so much joy. I was gonna put him over there, but he's in the window getting some sunlight. Yeah, get some plants. Plants are great. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to talk about today. I'm trying to think of a name for this podcast, show, YouTube channel, whatever. Right now it's just my name, but I guess it could just be my name, Jasmine Olivia Podcast. I want to have guests and shit come on. Like, I want to have some meaningful conversation, some meaningful topics, because I love to debate. But yeah, I'm about to get ready to go to work. So I hope that you learned something from this podcast. If you've learned nothing else, mental health, let's work on it. Let's get it together. Get your mental health together, clean up your room, make your bed every day, as Jordan Peterson says, and, moisturize, get some fucking exercise. You need to be in the gym. I've been feeling really not motivated to go to the gym this week, but I've been there because, you just got to. Read some books and meditate a little bit. But yeah, that's it for me today, you guys. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Have a good rest of your day. Get some sunlight, take your vitamin D, and enjoy. Thank you.